Anyone else spend approximately 2.5 hours today watching If You Sing, You Lose, 100% Fail, Impossible Disney version compilation videos on YouTube today? Cause I did, homegirl. Siri, open Uber Eats. I don't have any money. What's up, guys? It's been a while. I'm gonna try to not do this and let, you know, a full 15-year period go by between videos. But you know, I was here in my apartment and I'm feeling really sad. And what better things to do when you're sad than take on like a large video editing project? I'm gonna talk about some makeup that used to like absolutely set my soul on fire, and then at one point or another, because of one reason or another, I got woke and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna buy this. I'm gonna save my coint, my hard-earned coint, and buy 75 other things that I don't need. Hold on, let me hydrate my skin cells for like a half sec. This is Argan Royale. Now that I'm 100% a Domino's pizza, now it's time to discuss makeup. The first thing that I was like literally obsessing over for a while before realizing who TF I am is the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. I wasn't even following the account that it showed up on, but Instagram was like,
I feel like this is the kind of thing that will tempt Nisa into making a poor fiduciary decision. Let's show this to her.
whatever. And that is almost what happened. I was like, it's so beautiful. I loved the colors. I love the look of warm toned eyeshadows, and I thought those like iridescent oranges were like super pretty. But I was like, oh my gosh, I have to buy this. I was trying to think of like the last milestone in my life through which I would deserve getting this. I was like, I only graduated from college a calendar year ago, and I definitely haven't bought hundreds of dollars of other things since then. I deserve this. And then I really thought about it, and I swatched it in person, and I was like, are you actually going to wait until this elusive palette is back in stock and purchase it with your own money? And I didn't, and I haven't still, and I'm not going to. And I feel proud of that decision. I feel like I'm really growing up. The next thing is literally every single product from Milk Makeup and Glossier, just because of marketing. And I still like go on Glossier's website and kind of just like, you know when dogs like want to be let into a room and they're like, I just like involuntarily make that noise on glossier.com /search all products. I just have to tell myself repeatedly, it's just packaging. It's a trompe l'oeil. You feel me? It's a mirage. The branding is A1, and I just really enjoyed the idea of being like a fresh-faced like NYC model with vinyl skin. Next up, like most really expensive mascaras, but specifically the Lancome Hypnose and the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I've owned samples of both of them, and I really like them. But now I've found out that like high-end mascaras are really not worth it. From like 2014 to 15, I was like really into the idea of having a signature expensive mascara that I would just like kind of performatively gripe and whine about having to spend makeup money on. I mean like, I hate how I have to spend $27 on this every couple of months, but it's worth it for my lashes. Like I found so many drugstore mascaras that work perfectly fine on their own. Yeah, my notes say branding and hype, but then I realized essence was God's honest truth, which is a fact. Next, oh my God, if you approached me at any point during the fall and winter of 2015 and were like, hey Nisa, how is life in your extravagant experience as a college senior, ready to approach the real world? I would just like kind of slowly turn around and look at you and say, morphe 35, because it was the only thing that I ever thought about. I wanted it more than I wanted oxygen in my lungs and Oscar Isaac in my dorm room twin bed. And it was always sold out, which is actually a godsend because that made me really take a look at the palette, because I would check Morphe's website constantly to see if it was back in stock. And as I did that, I would look at the palette and I realized, oh, when I actually look at this, there are so many really light, sort of cream to light brown colored shades that are too fair for me that I would never use. It was like a whole quarter of the palette that, which if I do my math correctly, amounts to 8.75 eyeshadows that I wouldn't use. What does my note say? I wanted to feel one with the beauty community singularity, yeah. And then I realized it was 50 Shades of Orange, and the 2 orange shades in the Modern Renaissance palette were doing me just fine, which is a true fact. A truism. Oh my god. Every single glow kit, again, beauty community singularity made me want it. I wanted to feel the same maternal love for the glow kits that everyone else felt. And I do like them. I have swatched them and I'm like, oh, okay, formula, yes, pigmentation. But I don't need 6 highlighters at once. I have like 11 highlighters and that feels overwhelming. How do you think I'd feel if I had like a whole palette full of highlighters I'm neglecting? Also, all of them had at least 2 shades that were way too fair for my skin tone. Like, I think one of the first glow kits had a highlighter shade that was just straight up white. And whose cheekbones? Not mine, sis. Oh my god, these I like just stopped obsessing over. The Cover FX custom enhancer drops, like the highlighting ones that you're supposed to like mix into foundation to give yourself like a glow, or use on like a makeup sponge and dab on as a liquid highlight. I don't know why I was so obsessed with these, because I don't like liquid highlighters. I have one and I never wear it. It's stupid. Also, they're like $45, and yeah, it's like enough product to last you for your and your children's earthly existences, but it would have been a ridiculous purchase that I would have like used a couple times out of obligation because I'd spent like almost $50 on it, but I wouldn't have truly felt love in my heart for it, you know? It'd be like a Tinder date. I'd be like, this is fine, but like, what are we? We're nothing, because I don't like liquid highlighters. My note. First of all, whomst is really spending 40 bucks on a high space light. Realize that just because it's swatched pretty doesn't mean it would have been at all useful for my minimal daily makeup, and also I hate liquid highlighters with my whole entire soul. So yeah. Oh my god, that's my whole list. How does my face look? Oh, have I looked that much like a coconut this whole video? Okay. If you could go ahead and do me a favor and have like an amazing day, that would be great. Thank you and goodbye.